beautiful people. Welcome to the Unfiltered Faith and Growth podcast. I am your girl, Yo Kairos, and welcome to season 2 of this podcast. Y'all, it's been a minute. I am so excited to just be back. I have so much to share. I have just so much on my heart and my mind. But we're not going to keep y'all long. As y'all already know, I try to be very mindful of your time. And I just want to say thank you for choosing this as a podcast that you listen to, that you're committed to. Thank you so much. Your support means a lot to me. And so thank you so much. So before we get into it, make sure, y'all already know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to this channel, so that can let me know that y'all are feeling it, okay? I'm going to keep showing up no matter, even if it's just 50 of y'all watching, I'm going to keep showing up, whether it's 50 or 10,000, okay? Your girl is committed to this, okay? I'm just grateful to be here. I just want to remind you, ladies, if you're watching, because I know there's some gentlemen too, but ladies, remember that if you are looking for a sisterhood, a faith-based sisterhood, Christ-centered community, my Raise Your Spark Women's Inner Circle is for you. We have book clubs, we have challenges, we have our private community chat. We have weekly Mindset Monday mentorship calls and so much more to offer. So make sure you visit raiseyourspark.com, check it out, join in, and be a part of something bigger than you. I always tell people, especially if you're on a walk with Christ, you cannot operate and do this on your own. Like, you need a community that's going to help you stay accountable, and that's going to always help bring you back to the focus and realign you with your goals and just what you committed to, okay? So again, raiseyourspark.com for all mentorship needs, etc., etc. All right, y'all. So let's get into it, okay? So your girl is 30. I am 30 years old now, okay? Last time I seen y'all, the last episode, I was 29, talking about, the things I learned in my 20s. And here I am, I'm back. And your girl is now 30 years old. And the other day I had a friend actually reach out to me and say, how does it feel to be 30? Like, what do you feel? And I think, honestly, because I used to do it as well. Like, whenever I knew someone turned 30 or they were in their 30s, I'm like, oh my God, how does it feel to be 30? Because it's like, I think we all anticipate that in our 20s as like the life-changing years, if you will. And we look at it as such a huge milestone to hit that we're like, oh my God, so much is expected of us by that time. So much is required. But one thing I learned now that I am 30 is that, I remember being 21 talking about, I want to be married by 29 and I want to have my first kids by 30. And so I think we just have a habit of setting a certain standard of what life should look like by 30. And so when we're getting close to that age or when we're there and we realize that the things that we, set as a goal or as an expectation doesn't really happen, we feel like we're failures. And that's a lie. So I definitely want to come up against that, okay? That is a lie. I believe, like I said in the last episode, if you didn't catch it, go catch it, especially if you're in your 20s. I believe that your 20s, one of the things that we are all during our 20s is in a rush. We're like wanting to make it happen. We want things to happen immediately. But I realized that I was the only one in a rush, not God. And I feel like I'm exactly where God needs me to be. And to be truthful, our life is literally a result of our decisions. And I must say personally for me, obviously I have up and down days. I mean, I had someone ask me the other day, like, how do you stay motivated? I'm like, child, I'm not motivated every day. Like, there's days, I'm not even going to lie to you, like now, I did not want to film for this podcast today. I'm mentally like not really in the space for it. And I found myself like, I'm not in the mood for it. But because I made a decision, I have to remain consistent. And so I think for me, the discipline of consistency is what keeps me showing up even when I don't want to show up. So it's never that I don't have a bad day. It's never that I'm always, I just never have a day where I'm out of it or I don't feel like it. No, I have those days. I'm human. There are times where I don't want to show up. There are times where I'm second guessing myself. There are times where I wonder, like, what's the point? There are times where I think and I say to myself, like, Lord, is this where you want me? Like, am I even showing up the right way? Like, there are times where I'm just like, you know what? What if I just don't show up? What if I just disappear and just hide under a rock? I have those moments. I'm human. But I shake it off. I go into worship mode. I read my word. I speak to the right people, because it's okay to go through those emotions, but it's not okay to sit in them for too long. Because at that point, if I sit in it for too long, now the enemy has time and space and room to lie, to fill me with lies, to play with my mind, to rob me of my future, my destiny. And we're not doing that. And so there's times where you just have to show up when you don't want to. You have to show up when you're tired, when the results aren't showing, when the bank account ain't reflecting what you want. Like, you just got to show up. When the support isn't there, you just got to show up. And so really what separates you from anyone else, what separates me from anyone else is not, anything other than my consistency. And so I also believe that there's a season for everything, right? There's going to be a season where your income doesn't reflect your hard work. Then there's going to be moments where your time doesn't reflect your hard work, meaning that you're working so hard for time freedom, but yet you have no time freedom. Or you're working so hard, to make money, but you're not making any money. And I just want to say that no season goes to waste. Like, in every season, in every journey, in every part of your journey, everything is serving a purpose. So even though maybe in this season, what you're doing currently isn't helping you financially, right? As long as you keep believing that one day it will, then it will. So if you just look at that season that you're currently in, like, maybe it's not helping me grow my income, but it's giving me the characteristics I need to withstand, rainy days. Okay, maybe in this season, I don't feel as creative, but maybe in this season, I'm more focused, and it's teaching me how to spend more time with the Lord than I used to, right? So I believe every season in our life serves a specific purpose. And so we just have to learn how to just walk it out and see it all through. Just see it all through, And so I say all that to say that, back to my friend asking me, how does it feel to be 30? I'm like, bruh, like, I feel great. I'm actually super excited. I believe that my 30s will be my thriving years. And when you really look at a lot of the greats, right? A lot of the people that we look up to, and the people that inspire us, and that, have maybe the level of success, right? Because success looks different for a lot of people, right? Some people may just have the goal for time freedom. Some people may have the goal, I want to make $20,000 a month. Some people may say, no, I want to make 100,000. Some people are like, no, I need to make $1 million a month. So everybody has a different goal and a different perspective and idea of what success looks like. But let me just give you some encouragement right here, right? This is just an overall life point, right? Let me see. I'm going to look something up, a statistic, and then I'm going to share something with you guys. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Okay. So Rihanna, right? Rihanna became a billionaire at the age of 34. Okay. I don't even want to use this person for real. Actually, I'm not. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use them specifically because of the obvious. I'm not even going to say who it is, but let me see. Okay. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is actually a billionaire now, but Jeff Bezos became a millionaire at the age of 33. And then he became a billionaire 2 years later at the age of 35. That's crazy. Right? Let me see. Let's keep. I'm going to do two more. Don't go, y'all. Don't go. Just stay with me. Let's say Okay, I think y'all get the point. The point is this, that a lot of the people that we look up to and that inspire us and that are super successful, these people did not really take off until they were in like their mid 30s, some in the early 40s, some in their 50s. And so I say that to say that, again, you're going to have those days and those moments like I recently had where I'm just like, all right, Lord, like I'm all right. We want to see higher numbers, we want to see just higher everything, and what I learned and what I realized is the strategy is to obviously show up and work with your hands and do the work. But the strategy most importantly is in this and spending time with him, because no matter what's going on in your life, in your business, his word, he will keep you in perfect peace. And so he always reminds me of that strategy of just praying. And I spoke on Mindset Monday, our last Mindset Monday of 2024. And the Lord literally in that on the spot, he gave me that strategy for our community, Raise Spark community. He said, Yo, Kairos, in this season, in this new year, the strategy is to pray. Pray, to pray. Pray. Come before the throne of grace. Communicate with me, right? R, it stands for rest. He wants us to rest more in his promise. Not to work overly hard, to work hard, but not to the point where we're exhausting ourselves or we're burning out. Like, just do what you can. Maximize your potential for the day. Be great, but rest in him. Rest in his word. Read his word. Believe his word and rest in it. Meditate on his word. The letter A stands for affirm. Speak life over yourself. Speak the word of God over yourself. Like I said, when you are feeling down and discouraged, you got to stand up and encourage yourself, right? And then why? To yield. Once the Lord does start to speak to you, yield to his plan, yield to the will he has over your life. And so back to just becoming and turning 30, like I've become just more, I want to say more aware of what truly matters. One of those things is my parents, right? Like I've always had an amazing relationship with my parents. I've always communicated with my parents, even though now I live in a different city. I still talk to my parents at least minimum 3 times a week. I call them, we chat, and we kick it and whatnot. And so for my 30th birthday, I was supposed to go to Aspen, and I was super excited about that trip. Everything was booked, but I ended up canceling last minute because I was like, y'all, like deep in my heart and in my soul, I'm like, nah, like something don't feel right. Like I could go to Aspen and I want to go skiing, but part of me, if I'm being real with myself, was like, yo, like you're going to Aspen. Yeah, you want to go, but that's not really what you want to do. Like that's not really what's on your heart to do. Like you're going because you want to go, but it's also because you want to show the world on social media, like, hey, look where I'm at for my 30s. Not as a form of showing off, but as a form of like, there's like this standard now where like it's your birthday and you got to do all these grand things for your birthday to impress the gram or to impress people that don't even care about you. When deep, 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 deep in my heart, I'm like, yo, I want to spend this day with my family. I want to spend this day with people that actually added value to my 20s, people that actually supported my 20s, everything I did in my 20s, people that encouraged me in my 20s, people that loved on me in my 20s through the ups and the downs. Like, I want to be around those people. And the top 2 people on that list were my parents. And also, I realized that, we only get one. You only get one dad. Well, I got my Heavenly Father, but you only get one. And my parents have been so good to me that all I can do as a form to repay them for how they showed up in my life is be the best that I can be and give them that time back. You know what I mean? And I don't want to get emotional, but like there's moments and times where I literally like sit and just meditate and reflect on the word of God and on my life. And I think about, the people in my life and the things that God has brought me through and the ways people have shown up. And when I get to the point of thinking of my parents, one of the main things I think about is how much grace and love they deserve when it comes to their children. Like when it comes to me, like I remember there was a point in time where I didn't understand my parents and why they showed up the way that they did. But now that I'm an adult and I'm able to see and understand what they've been through and their upbringing and their and all the things they had to endure as young adults and adults, right, in general, and how much they had to face in order to show up the way that they did for us, right? I literally, like, tears come down my eyes. And, when I think about my parents, like, I cry because I'm like, Lord, like, one of the biggest goals of my life is to ease the weight of the world for my parents. Like, I help my parents and I do what I can for them when I can. But I want to get to the place where my parents never, ever, ever have to do anything they don't want to do to make ends meet, like ever, and I always pray to the Lord, like, Lord, I know there's going to come a point in time where like they're no longer going to be here. And, I don't want to say I think about my parents leaving this earth all the time, but I'm very aware that we all have a time to go. There's a time for all of us to go. And there's going to come a time where I will mourn my parents. And I'm just like, Lord, whatever you do, like, number one, keep me in perfect peace. And I'm glad that you've given me parents that I could enjoy and parents that were able to raise me the way that they did, in spite of their upbringing and their childhood. But I'm like, Lord, just whatever you do, protect them and keep them. And let me get to the point where I can at least do for them all that they did for me. And maybe that can't even amount to the sacrifices they made and the things they had to do for me, But I at least want them to just experience a life they never were able to because they were working hard for, to provide for us or whatever that looks like, right? And man, I just want to say this, like, if your parents are still alive and you may have some sort of like resentment towards them, or you just still have some sort of frustration towards them, and there's still some things that you never really got the answers to, and there's some sort of unforgiveness in your heart towards them, I really want to encourage you to give your parents grace. Because one thing that turning 30 has done for me is understand that this is also my parents' first time living. There's no like real manual and blueprint. Like, we grow and we learn as we go. And so with my parents, I'm just like, I don't question anything anymore. There was a time where I did, but now that I'm wiser, I understand that they did the best that they could. They did the best with what they knew was right. And so now, let's say like my mom, like, girls, women and women, daughters and mothers, I know there'd be a lot of clashing because we're women, right? But there were a lot of moments where I would be like super short in patience and tolerance with my mom, right? Because she can be a lot sometimes, if I'm being honest. Love you, Mom. It's my biggest headache. I always say that. But like for my birthday, I had my friends around, but I'm like, I want my mom there too, because yes, she's my mom, but she's also been a friend to me as well in her own way, right? 'Cause she's still my mom. And I wanted to spend that time with her. And I remember the experience I went for my birthday. It was quite a luxury experience. And so I was okay with it. I was okay with taking care of the bill and being able to give her that experience, because I know she never my dreams and a lot of my visions and desires at the age of 30. So I could only imagine at the age of 52 experiencing things that you wish you could have done at 20 or 30, And so I say that to say, like, it's just a beautiful thing to just have parents that show up, because they could have chosen a different route, but they didn't. And so being 30 has just made me more appreciative of the people that stayed, of the people that genuinely, wholeheartedly love me, not for what I could do for them, not for, what they can get out of me. It just pure love. And so, just embracing that and just embracing and coming to terms of just knowing who is in my core circle. Like, everyone is not your core circle. Everyone is not that intimate, close-knitted friend. We have our core circle, and then we have our circle, and then we have the world. And for me, my core circle has always been foundationally my parents and some close friends as well. But outside of that, I mean, I'm excited about 30. I'm grateful for 30. I feel like I have so much more clarity than ever before. So much more clarity than ever before. I know where I'm going. I know what God is doing. It's just a matter of, again, just pushing through every day, showing up, even when it doesn't make sense, and just pressing forward, just pressing on. And so this concludes episode 1 of season 2, y'all. I'm excited, and I'm grateful. And you know what? I'm actually not even going to call this season 2 episode 1. Like, this is just episode 6. We just going to keep going. Okay. This is episode 6. Okay. I'm excited. I am grateful, and I'm tired. I've been working very hard. Raise Your Spark is in a great place right now. Amazing momentum. The women are evolving, and that's like the most fruitful, beautiful thing that I've been seeing when it comes to Raise Your Spark. And it's mind blowing. I've been working on some projects, some things that I will launch soon. So make sure y'all tap in, click the link that's in the caption so you can get updated first when the announcement drops. I've just been working with clients. I know some of y'all are probably like, girl, what do you do? I do some things, legal things, holy. They're holy, okay? God will be pleased with what I do. But I do some things that I just would rather keep to myself, right? Because I'm learning that I don't need to overly share, and I've never been that way where I've overly shared, even though it may seem like it because I'm so vulnerable and open. There are things that I've learned to value and keep sacred to myself. So there's sometimes y'all gonna know what I got going on piece by piece, but then there's gonna be things that y'all just will never know because it's for me, and I'm okay with it. But I believe that I share enough to inspire, to still be authentic, to still be relatable. And so I hope you guys appreciate it. With that being said, I love y'all. Make sure, again, y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. And I pray that, you guys are able to walk away with something from this. Be well. Let's continue to pray. Our nation, this country is in an uproar. I mean, so much is happening. So much has happened. These airplane crashes. Man, I'm lost for words. But ultimately, I know my God reigns. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings, okay? And he's definitely yeah. I don't want to get into it, but I love you guys, and we'll talk soon.